All right, welcome to another edition of Cooking with the Cruels. And tonight we're going to be changing things up a little bit. First off, we're going to be having Chef Tulia tonight do one of her favorite dishes. And I'm excited because I've had this one with her before, and it's super good, guys. I'm really stoked about it. So, go ahead, Tulia, explain what we got going on.
Thank you, Thorfinn. So tonight we're going to be doing one of my favorite dishes, which is called Gambas al Ajillo. Probably butchered that. It's a Spanish tapas dish. It's one of the kind of classic Spanish tapas dishes that you'll find. And it has a really positive memory for me because there was a really great restaurant in Menlo Park that's right up the road from where we are. It closed down, unfortunately, or it moved. I think it moved, but everything's closed down now. So
yeah.
But yeah, it moved.
Hey, guys, remember restaurants? Weren't they cool?
It was crazy.
I love them.
So this restaurant was called Iberia, and they had this great old building. It looked like actually kind of like a Tudor English pub location. It was beautiful, but I think the rent got too high, and they had to pick up and move somewhere else a couple of years ago. Haven't been back for a few years, but one of the things that I loved the best about it was their Gambas al Ajillo, which is a shrimp dish. Those of you who have a shrimp allergy, a shellfish allergy, or just don't like them,
this is not for you.
No, you're not going to like this. But those who do, this is delicious, and it's super simple.
This guys doesn't have that. I'm into it.
Yeah, you're weirdly allergic to something we can't pinpoint.
Oh yeah, well, we'll figure it out.
But now I'm spilling my cocktail. That's classy. So yeah, it's a really simple dish, and basically what we start with is I'm gonna heat up the pan behind me here, which I should have been doing the whole time, but whatever. We're gonna heat it up, probably medium heat.
Yeah.
Didn't light. No, it didn't light. I don't know how to use this stove apparently. That's why he does all the cooking. Okay, we're gonna
medium heat.
Yeah, medium heat.
Okay.
It's good in cast iron. I prefer to cook in cast iron anyway, but it's if you got it, you definitely do this.
This is our large lodge pan, and in the near future we've got a Griswold number 8 coming in, which is you gotta get. If you're into the cast iron, get one of those.
So I'm gonna take a half a cup of olive oil and dump it in here. And that's what we're going to be basing all of this in. Now, after Thorfinn took the photo of the ingredients, I realized it'd be better if we threw a little bit of butter in. So we're going to throw a little bit of butter in.
Oh, okay.
Just I'm going to go with a tablespoon-ish. Mostly because just butter's flavor.
Yeah, it just tastes good.
Yeah. So we're going to let that heat up for a bit.
I'll tell you, I wasn't really convinced on the whole tapas thing for a long time, and the reason was that I felt like I was buying a lot of small things and, paying a lot of extra for it. But I've changed my mind over time and learned to try it. And so, again, this is one of this is specifically the reason why I changed my mind. Is that Sarah?
I am specifically.
Yeah, she changed my mind.
You called me Sarah again.
Tulia.
Like I said, we agreed we were going to use SCA names.
Oh, that's right. We agreed. It's a contract.
Yeah, it's a thing. This is a branding.
Yeah.
deal.
Well, yeah, exactly. We got to make sure we stay on brand.
We're not going to be like cooking with Kelly and Sarah. That sounds lame, and none of our SCA friends will watch it. But if we say cooking with Thorfinn and Tulia,
that guy sucks.
Who? Kelly or Thorfinn? Yeah.
Well, sure, both.
Okay. So once we get this a little bit hot, we don't want it boiling hot. We want it just to the point where we can throw in our garlic. How many cloves did you chop up in here?
It's calls for 10. I think I did 12. I like a little garlic.
Sounds fair.
So
we're going to throw that in there. And again, we're not trying to basically cook the shit out of it.
Right.
We just want to get the flavors going.
Yeah. Chili seeds do I not do?
And yeah, let's give it a second, and then we're going to throw in.
So I was the sous chef today. I did all the prep stuff. So I measured everything out for her and set it all up to make sure that just flows right through the recipe. And you know, we don't normally do this, but it was pretty fun for me actually to do.
Normally I'm the one who does all this stuff for him.
True story.
So we're gonna put in, I think, like what, a teaspoon of red pepper flakes.
Yep.
Gives it a bit of heat. Stir that in. Again, this is one of those dishes that looks really complicated, fancy when it's done, but it's super, super easy. And one of the things back on what Thorfinn was saying about the tapas not being enough, because they're kind of small dishes, they're, you know, essentially the dim sum of Spain.
Right.
The one good thing about this is actually is a fairly large dish. So we are now going to put in, so I see in my things, the garlic's looking pretty decent, it's not burning, it's just happy.
Yeah,
So
you want to get it right before it starts to get like kind of burny.
So again, this is actually fairly low heat. I think I have it on like a low medium. I'm gonna even turn it down even further a little bit. You don't want to overdo it. I tossed in the shrimp. So we had deveined and I think peeled.
Yeah,
right?
peeled. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
It's really just up to the chef's preference. We didn't really consciously bought this actually to do
Shrimp and grits.
Shrimp and grits. So, but we got to looking at stuff, and I was like, you know what? Why don't I try Gambas al Ajillo, and we'll do the whole cooking with the rules thing.
Yeah. So the cool thing is that we have a pretty big Whole Foods near our house, and we can cruise over there and with our excellent masks on and all those activities.
Social distancing.
You know, yeah, after washing our hands 4 times, rubber gloves, the whole deal. They're still they have a really good selection of stuff still, and Whole Foods has great service. So you can ask for them to devein and peel your shrimp, or if you want you can buy a whole chicken and have them parted out for you and spice it. Same thing with steaks, everything. So I mean, their butcher shop's pretty cool, and it's one of the main things I use Whole Foods for is their meats, because it's hard to find a good butcher shop. If you live here in the Bay Area, definitely try Los Gatos Meats. That place is dope. I really recommend them. But if you can't get to that, and also, in times as they are, maybe, your supermarket is going to be good. But deveined and shelled was actually on sale for some reason.
Yeah.
And so we picked those up. I don't mind shelling them and deveining myself. It's just...
I mean, the recipe actually is just kind of, it says to the preference of the chef. You can do, they do say devein, but shelled is a shelled versus not shelled preference of the chef. Okay, thank you. Yeah, so we're basically just monitoring this until the shrimp turns pink, and we know it's done. But we have, at this point, I think we're going to throw in, the recipe calls for sherry or there's another dry Spanish wine that I'm blanking on right now.
Yeah.
But we don't have that. What we have on hand, because we're using what we have on hand,
Yeah, this is apocalypse cooking, guys.
right, Chardonnay. So we're just using the Chardonnay we have on
A
hand.
dry Chardonnay too. It's really dry.
We're just gonna pour that in there a little bit. Maybe not even use the whole thing. I think we use 3 ounces is what
Yeah,
the
around 3 ounces.
yeah. We're just gonna see what half of that does.
Then you do juice now.
Yeah.
Juice and the paprika, right?
Yes. Now,
So-
so everything kind of goes in really quickly. Well,
So-
we're gonna put in lemon juice and the paprika. Just throw this in here. So it's the juice of 1 lemon and another. I think it's a teaspoon. I'll put the recipe that we used up on a link to it. Just throw that in there. It gives it a bit of heat. It's really nice. Just stir it in.
Oh, hey, while we're doing this
Yeah.
and things are starting to cook, I do have one quick thing I want to do. Is I'm going to do a shameless plug for our friends, Scott and Maggie. Guys in the SCA, go out and shop from their shop. They're one of the best, and you know what? I love these guys. So this was not solicited by them. This is just me saying, hey, go shop at Feed the Ravens, guys, okay?
Over here.
Also,
Yeah.
shop Feed the Ravens right here.
So we own a lot of Feed the Raven stuff. Our Maggie mugs, perhaps you have been following on Facebook.
Maggie Mug Mondays or
Maggie
whatever it is.
Mug Monday, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm using one of these tiny little dainty sipping cups for my Sazerac, which happens to hold just the right amount.
That's a perfect size for a Sazerac. And I, because I have a bad habit of leaving my mugs at home, I have many. This is the newest one. I traditionally, I really like this kind of a bowl shape right here. That's one of my favorites. And this one here, I just love the lines on this one. It's such a slick mug. These are the ones that, these are the ones, I said that. These cups are the type that Sarah and I drink coffee out of every morning. So,
yeah. Especially since quarantine started and we started sheltering in place. For some reason, it brings us both like a lot of comfort just to drink out of the mugs.
yeah,
I don't know why it's a connection to something comforting, which I think is the SCA and
I think so.
Maggie and Scott, who are good friends of ours, and it brings us a happy. So, you know, one of those things that it's a small thing, go with it. So,
Yeah.
okay, so my shrimps are looking like they're kind of good. What do you think? It's looking like good?
They look pretty good.
They're looking pretty good.
Yeah.
So, the one thing you don't see here, because we don't have two cameras, is that it's a fairly brothy dish. It's not going to be a dry dish. It's going to have a lot of broth to it, which is why you're going to want to use some bread
Right.
to sop up the deliciousness.
What do you want those parsley?
What's it?
Want those parsley in?
We're gonna, let's throw some, okay.
So here's
this
the thing.
debate
The recipe
about the
calls
parsley.
for fresh parsley. We do not have fresh parsley, and I'm not even sure we could have got it at the store. So we're
We
using
could've.
some dried parsley, and it just honestly the parsley goes in at the end as kind of a garnish. But so we use some dried parsley just to get a bit of the flavor. And we're not using the full amount, but if you can get fresh parsley.
Yeah.
We're going to be putting a garden in soon, and so the garden will have, this weekend anyway. So that'll have probably parsley in it.
Okay, so what we're going to do next, though, is we're going to toast some bread. The recipe, what you would normally eat is usually like kind of a French bread.
Yeah, it says for a baguette.
A baguette,
Yeah.
something like that. We don't have that, and also we have a hard time with it because they go really hard, like
Yeah.
overnight, and it's just the two of us, so we can't like.
Yeah, you can't go through a whole baguette in the two of us in one night, and so I find that I end up making either 100 pounds of croutons, or it turns to stone. I don't know. It's like Medusa looked at the damn bread. It's so quick, but so Sarah's just gonna throw some olive oil into our other cast iron pan that we use all the time. This cast iron pan is a heirloom cast iron pan. It's my father's cast iron pan.
Yeah.
And it's been many, many great meals cooked on that. She's just gonna throw the bread in the oil and kind of toast it up.
Yeah, so that's exactly what we're doing here, is just throwing it in the pan, giving it a bit of a toast, and making it a little crispy. You can add salt to it, which I think I'm actually going to do. I'm going to add a little bit of salt and pepper, which we have sitting right here, all ready to season our gambas after they are ready, but we're going to just throw it in the pan so the bread will soak up a little bit of it. And you could also just use regular bread too. You don't have to toast it, but I like toasting.
This
Toast is comforting.
Yeah, toast is coming. This recipe though is, if you think about it, it's pretty inexpensive.
It's actually the most expensive part's probably the shrimp itself.
Yeah, we got a pound of shrimp. And,
We're lucky we live in a coastal state, so like things are pretty cheap. Like seafood tends to be not that
pretty
expensive.
achievable.
Yeah.
But it was, like I said, first off, the shrimp was on sale, which was great, and second off, it came out to be this whole meal is probably $12 or $13 total for two people.
Which,
And
if you paid for it, it would be more like $20. But
yeah.
yeah.
$12 for us to cook at home, and both of us are going to be totally full from this. So.
Maybe more than that, actually. Inflation these days, I don't know. So yeah, what I think I mentioned, I don't know if I mentioned, but I'm just toasting it in olive oil.
Yeah,
Did I
just
say
olive
that?
oil,
I
yeah.
said that, yeah. Okay, cool, we're good. And let's see, can you entertain the good people while I toast?
Yeah, hey, so I hope everyone's staying healthy out there. And if you are sick, I hope that you're fighting a good fight, and we're with you.
I watched a video today. It was an interview Ellen did with Pink, who is like one of my favorite people in the entire universe, because she's just amazing. But she caught COVID-19, and her 3-year-old son, and it was pretty raw, actually. It was a very emotional interview, but she seems to be doing better, so, go Pink.
Yeah, so my coworker, he was diagnosed, him and his lady were diagnosed with COVID-19. They apparently had a family member come visit right before the kind of the lockdown time period. and they both got COVID-19. She was visiting from New York. She didn't know she had it at the time. Travel bans weren't in place, and so I have that's how close it is. All of us probably know somebody, or friend of a
That's
friend
either
that is
a tested and confirmed case or a suspected case.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
hang in there. We're all in this together, and let's get ready to eat, I guess. Huh?
I guess so. We're getting there. We're getting close. So yeah. Well.
Let's cheers, everybody.
Skull.
Guys, skull. And I look forward to seeing you all in person. What else you gotta say?
Be excellent to each other and party on, dudes.
Yeah. Much love.